Hey, yo, so recently somebody asked me, how did I feel about not being accepted as a professor into Streamer University? And honestly, my response was, not every room is your audience. And I think that's important because when we experience rejection, the first thing we usually do is start questioning ourselves. We start asking, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I chosen? What did I miss? But sometimes rejection isn't revealing your lack of ability. Sometimes rejection is revealing your lack of alignment. And that is my story. Let me tell y'all how I got to the conclusion of not every room is your audience. So I remember when I first saw the opportunity, somebody had sent me a reel of Casanet talking about Streamer University. And I'm like, oh, okay. I remember hearing about this last year, but I never really knew like what it was, right? So I went to the website and everything, and I knew that I didn't want to be a student because I knew that that just didn't fit me. And so I was like, oh, you know what? This would be a dope time to teach a course about confidence before the content. Because one of the things that I see a lot of creators do, and I'm not just going to limit it to creators, just people in general, whether you are trying to go for public speaking, just stop drinking like in your personal life and just life in general. A lot of people struggle with confidence, right? And so I was like, when it comes to you getting on a platform, you need to be confident in who you are and what you're doing, because a lot of times what happens is people will start experiencing success from these various platforms and they don't know how to hold it, right? They don't know how to manage the influx of influence that actually comes with this stuff. And I just felt like, you know what? This would really be something dope to give to the Streamer University platform, because I mean, there's so much benefits of streaming and also just, you know, using your gifts and your talents. But if you don't know how to actually walk in it, you're not going to be able to actually steward it well. You know what I'm saying? And so that was, you know, something that I felt like I could contribute as a professor. But and so I applied, and like I sent in like my we had to do a video, you know, about what we would bring to the table and stuff like that. And so I filled out everything, did all the things and stuff. And so I started hearing about that Casanet was going to be doing like in-person auditions and stuff. And so I started thinking about, was I going to show up to that? Because I literally started seeing the crowd that it was drawing. And that was something that I really started paying attention to. I started seeing a lot of different people, a lot of different individuals, you know, that are into streaming. Some people are not into streaming. They just showing up because other people are showing up. Look, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, man, I just started seeing, you know, just all these different people just like deciding to come out for the in-person auditions. And so I started thinking to myself, since he was going to be coming to Atlanta, I was like, should I go? Should I come to the audition? And I knew, and I actually even told my friend this, I said, if I go to the audition, I'm literally just going to bring a chair and a book. And I was also going to use it for content where it's just like this, like, these are the students, you know what I'm saying? These are the people that we are getting ready to like impact, you know what I'm saying? And so as time got closer, I started seeing more and more just, I didn't feel like a lot of it was serious, you know, and this is just my personal opinion, right? I didn't feel like a lot of like the candidates and just even Castanet himself, I didn't really feel like it was like a serious situation. Like, oh, I'm genuinely and really trying to help people grow and become, if this is the life or the light that they want to walk in, I really want to show y'all how to like hone in on this and really run it up. That's not what I got from it, right? And so as I started just kind of filling it out a little more, because I didn't want to come from a judgmental place, like, oh, okay, just give it a little time. Cause I know me, like I'm a seer, you know what I mean? Like I can see things before people actually like be able to see it. And so I'm not a surface level person. So I'm able to really be able to like see a situation and be like, like my discernment is real. Like, okay, nah, this ain't really it. And so, yeah, man, he came to Atlanta and the the in-person auditions was already crazy just in the various cities that he had been to, but they were successful. And so when he came to Atlanta, they actually had to relocate where the auditions were taking place because people were already showing up and basically like vandalizing like the property and different things like that. And so I started just like taking heed to that and then really started going crazy over social media. And I was just sitting back like, and so I remember like the day just went by. I didn't feel Holy Spirit tugging on me like, hey, you need to make it to the audition, make it to the audition. Like my day literally just went on and I had even forgot that it was happening on the day of until I started seeing on social media that it was getting out of hand to the point where they ended up having to shut down the in-person auditions. And so I was just like, man, that's crazy. But I saw so many different people like out there and I was like, wow, like there were even people passing out. Just, it was a lot going on, y'all. And I just kept feeling that like, I don't think this for me. You know what I'm saying? And so literally, it got to a point, I think I was in the middle of like working on some curriculum or something. And I saw that like Castanet was going to be going live on YouTube as far as like making the announcements and stuff. And I hadn't heard anything. Oh, I did get an email, which I thought, and I still think was maybe like a scammer. But I did get an email from supposedly Streamer University, and they were asking me to basically, if I want to join, I got to submit a payment. And I looked at the email address and everything like that. And I'm like, nah, this don't seem legit. And if it is legit, I'm still not paying nothing. No, I'm not doing that. Right. And so I watched the live stream of the announcements. And I think that to me, my mind was already made up about, I don't think this is like the right opportunity for me. But watching the live stream announcements for like the acceptance, it was in that moment for real where I was like, okay, this is just even more confirmation that what I have to offer as far as like the course that I would want to come in and teach, I don't think this is the actual platform for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going to teach the class. I'm just not going to do it on the Streamer University platform because I don't think right now that I don't think it can actually like, I just don't think it'll be super useful. It'll be super helpful, but I don't think the students right now and just administration overall, I don't think that that's the direction that they going in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that they're really like, it's, you know, it's just, it's not the same vibe. And so like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I said, as I was watching everything play out, I don't think that my voice like would have been received in the way that I would have imagined. And so that's why I said, like, I would still teach the class, but I'm going to teach it on a different platform, my own platform, actually. But I actually want to talk about 3 points that I feel like if you are experiencing, rejection, it is not always about your lack of ability, right? And so the first point that I want to make is not every room is your audience. A room can reject you because you don't have the context to understand what you bring, right? But it's like you need to make sure that the room that you're trying to walk in, or like, not even, I don't even want to use the language fit into, right? Because it's not about you fitting in, but you have to make sure that that room is aligned to who you are and what you've been called to do. Because not every environment is a fit for your gift, right? And I do think that it take real honest discernment to be able to like take a moment and pause and really think about, does that room, does it really align with my gifting and like, my value, what I can bring to that audience? And that's another thing, the different audience requires different voices and perspective. And so that streamer university crowd, for me, the people that they selected, that really is more than likely the voices and perspectives that those particular students need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we take rejection personally when the truth is the room just wasn't designed to perceive us. And that's okay. That's actually protection. You understand what I'm saying? That's discernment. That's you being able to step back and recognize they might not perceive me well. And I wanna add something to that. If you end up forcing yourself into a room that you were never meant to use your gift in, that room, that audience will more than likely not be in a position to receive you well and what you have to offer well. And that could also be part of the reason that you end up dimming your light, because now you are starting to question the value of what you do bring. And because you weren't in the right room to use that gift that you have, now you're shrinking. You understand what I'm saying? Another point that I want to make is rejection can reveal misalignment before it reveals disappointment. Sometimes we are grieving something we wanted without realizing it may not have been what we needed. Yeah. Like, sometimes we often see like opportunities, but not necessarily like the full picture of the opportunity. And God, because he stands outside of time and because he is so intentional, he sees the full picture before we could ever even have to like walk through it for real. And so rejection can be saving you from forcing yourself into spaces, like I said, that you might end up shrinking yourself in because you're trying to fit in. And I think, shout out to God for just going before us. And I know we don't always feel this way in the moment, but really, you never know what God is saving you from when he says no. Yeah. And, we take that no personally sometimes, but really, I know you can pause right now. And if not you, I know me. I'll speak for myself. I can take a moment right now and think about certain situations that have happened in my life where God said no. And I am so thankful that he said no. I didn't feel that way in the moment, right? But as time went on, it's like, wow, you were actually saving me. And I feel that way about job opportunities, relationships, friendships, just even opportunities where, I could go and use my gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really am able to sit back and just be like, wow, you really kept me. Yeah, like, God, oh man, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. And it's like, from where you're standing or where you're sitting, you wouldn't have been able to see it. That's why God is God and you. You know what I'm saying? A closed door does not always mean you failed. Sometimes it just means you're being redirected. And I could tell you right now, speaking from lived experience, I am so grateful for every redirection. Yeah, because it was in that redirection where you actually gain more clarity and confidence because you actually see more of what you bring, the value that's inside of you, right? And where that value actually needs to be. Who needs that? Who needs to hear what you have to say or experience whatever your gifting is, whatever that value that you bring? Like, there is an audience for you. There is an audience tailored specifically for you. They need whatever it is that you bring in. And I think it's important that you make sure that you allow God to order your steps and redirect you when it's time to be redirected, and accept his no when he says no. Because again, y'all, shrinking, it is like you shrinking, that can paralyze you in so many ways. And I think sometimes we often overlook how shrinking has actually kept us stagnant, has kept us where we are, and we want to flourish, we want to thrive, but we've had to shrink ourselves in so many different rooms, relationships, opportunities to fit in. And we are often upset about feeling, man, I know I've outgrown this place. You outgrown this space before you even got here, but you were so desperate. You wanted to fit in so bad. And so you were willing to shrink yourself. Instead of allowing God, come on, man, this is good. Instead of allowing God, thank you, Holy Spirit, Jesus, woo. Instead of allowing God to, to create and give you a bigger container to be in, you rather shrink yourself, make yourself smaller just so you can fit in. Nah, I'm going to take it right here. I'm going to take it right here. Man, this is so good. Before God ever created us, animals, any of that, he created the environment first. He didn't create us first and then create the environment that we needed to fit in. No, he created the environment first. And then he created us. And then he created the animals and the this and the that. Like, the environment, the container that he's gonna provide you is gonna be so massive that you won't have to fit in. No, you just have to steward in. Man, that's good, man. Yeah, that's good. Come on, speak. Ha. The third point I want to talk about is your assignment is bigger than one opportunity. Your calling cannot be validated by one acceptance letter. Yeah, so don't allow that no, that one no, or however many no's you get, don't allow that to become your identity. Yeah, continue to create, teach, lead, serve, whatever it is that you do. Because Platforms, some platforms are temporary, right? But purpose is the bigger picture. The goal isn't to be accepted by every room. The goal is to be prepared for the rooms where your assignment can actually be fulfilled. That's what this is about. Especially in today's time, there are so many rooms, so many webinars, so many conferences, so many conversations, people with podcasts, people just, it's so many rooms today, right? And even if you just think about your own situation, how often do you leave a conversation or do you leave a room and you feel like that was a waste of time? There are some people that's showing up in rooms right now. It is a waste of time because that's not even the room that they're supposed to be in. That's not even how they're supposed to be using their gift. But because they so focused on what they want to do versus what God has called them to do, there's a misalignment happening. And if we're going to keep it 100, there are some people that's around you that won't even tell you, hey, I don't think that's for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have enough real friends. We don't have enough real people in our corner for real that'll pause and be like, yo, I know you got an assignment, but I think your assignment lives in a different room from in which you're operating in. And I think that that's okay. And I think that that's real to tell people, because imagine you having this gift and you never actually feel fulfilled by what you're doing because you're using it in the wrong way. You're using it in the wrong rooms. Listen, if you didn't get chosen, I want to encourage you to stop only asking, why didn't they pick me? I want you to ask yourself, what is God showing me through this? Because sometimes rejection is not a denial of who you are. Sometimes it's a revelation of where you belong. Not every room is your audience, and that's okay. The right rooms won't require you to become someone else to be understood. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.